What's going on, VC? I'm Brian, Shamrock'n Records, and I am back. I only took a year off, so I hope you didn't forget about me. And I saw Andrew doing the vinyl tag this morning. I woke up. It is New Year's Day. Happy New Year to everybody out there. But I saw Andrew from Tales from the Crate do the vinyl tag this morning when I woke up. I was like, holy crap, forgot about the vinyl tag. And to be honest with you guys, I helped write the questions for 2018. I helped write the questions for 2019. And now it's 2020, and I was completely forgotten about. And I was pretty disappointed. So I have to get back into the VC and at least answer these questions. So I'm very excited to see that a bunch of people have already started making them. I just watched Steve Carlson's. Hey, Steve. Hey, Andrew. And great job on both of those. I got my questions written down here. I got my answers scattered around me. And I'm just going to get started. So, because I know this takes forever. And I ramble, as you can tell. So, my best find of 2019. I'm going to say this is my best acquisition of 2019 because I didn't really find it out digging. This is something that I traded for. I traded with Jonathan from, Jonathan, the Cheap and Cheerful record collector. He and I both were very good friends. We both live here in Maine, and we stumble upon things for each other, and we trade for things, you know. So my best acquisition or find for 2019 is an original Black Sabbath Paranoid German press on Vertigo Swirl. This thing has virtually never been played. Jonathan bought it from somebody, or got it from somebody, who was in the military and was stationed, I believe, he said, over in Germany, thus the German press. He was in the military, and this guy's records are all impeccable. Apparently he only spun it like once or twice. He spun it to listen to, I think, once, and then he played it one more time to transfer to like cassette or something. The thing is like brand new. So that was probably my favorite find of 2019. My favorite record of 2019. I have a couple. There's like 3 records that I've listened to a lot this year. One of the records I'm not going to show today because I've seen it shown in the VC already on some other videos this year. But I have not seen anybody show this record. It's the first 2019 release I picked up this year. And from my first listen, I said, wow, that's going to be like my favorite record of the year. So here it is at the end of the year, beginning of the next year, and I'm still saying it. Josh Ritter's Fever Breaks was my record of the year. Josh Ritter is a singer-songwriter, but on this record, he collaborated with Jason Isbell. Jason Isbell produced this record. Jason Isbell is his band on this record. It's Jason Isbell and the 400 Unit. So you got Amanda Shires on this. You got his whole band playing this. This is essentially a Jason Isbell record with Josh Ritter on lead vocal. And it does not disappoint. It is absolutely gorgeous. It rocks. It was made in Muscle Shoals. It rips. It's killer. I haven't seen it on any freaking best of list of the year. And it shocks me to all hell. I can't believe that is not in anybody's top records of the year, but it's my favorite. So, Josh Ritter. Let's see. Novelty record. I actually just listened to this a few weeks ago. It's something I've had since I was a little kid. My mom and dad had it. And it's the Cabbage Patch Christmas. I love this record. I still listen to it every year at Christmas. I used to play it for my daughter when she was really young and liked Cabbage Patch Kids. And I'm finding myself just spinning it even when my daughter's not around. So, Cabbage Patch Kids, my novelty record of the year. Or whatever. Number 3. Number 4, an homage cover. Which, everybody's going to show this, right? Now, how many times is that going to get shown? A ton, right? So I was like, I need to come up with something else. So I thought of something else. And what we're going with is a copy of The Replacements' Let It Be. And a copy of Deer Tick's 10-inch for Tim. They don't look anything alike, right? Nothing. Sorry about that, Claire. But if you go to the flip side, we have Deer Tick with their faces on The Replacements' bodies. So that's my homage. Sorry about this. Alright, let's see. Number 5. A B-side deep cut. I'm going with the Avett Brothers. This was a 7-inch single for Slight Figure of Speech off of their I Am Lovin' You record. However, More of You is a B-side that was never released on any other record or anything. So it's a true B-side. And the thing that I really liked about this song is that they use horns in that song. And up to this, they never really used horns in anything. And it's very like New Orleans kind of feel. Has that I don't know if you want to say Cajun, but it's got like a New Orleans vibe to it. Starts off like a typical Avett. Yeah, I think it was like kind of banjo-y, slow, and then all of a sudden horns hit you, and it's like, whoa, they need more horns. So they definitely need more horns. Anyway, number 6, Something Funky. I'm listening to Something Funky right now, but this is something else. So we'll get to this, and I'll tell you what this is later. But this could be something funky. It's actually funkier than what I'm showing for my funky, but this is an answer for something else. So bear with me. What I'm going to show for my something funky is the Rustic Overtones. I just picked this up yesterday. This is a record that originally came out on CD in 1997. They are a Portland, Maine-based band. They're probably Maine's biggest band ever. But they're funky. They kind of have a ska kind of sound a little bit too. But I would say think of bands similar to, if you know, Galactic or Lettuce or like Fishbone. Some of it reminds me of Fishbone. So that's probably the band that most of you would know. I don't know if a lot of people know Galactic and Lettuce out there, but hopefully you do. Pretty cool funk kind of stuff. But this copy was just released. It's a Bull Moose exclusive because the trombone player Dave Noyes had recently passed away. So they just, Bull Moose is putting this out themselves, and all the proceeds to this record are going to Dave's family. I believe he has, I think he has 2 kids. It's really sad. I guess it was just like a sudden death. I honestly don't know how he passed away. I didn't research it, but that's my favorite Rustic Overtones record. So if you want to check them out, that's the one that I would go with. And I'm really pumped that they finally pressed that. So, let's see. Number 7, Weird Shelf Buddies. Now, Weird Shelf Buddies is 2 records that are next to each other in your bins. Now, I do not, I don't do genres. Everything is alphabetical. So I have jazz mixed with rock, mixed with punk, mixed with folk, mixed with soundtracks, you name it. So I thought this was a lot of fun, but the one that I decided to go with was The Queers, a punk band from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and Queen. This is a bootleg called Sheet Keekers. Put on your sheet keekers and keek some sheet. Remember that? Who was that? The Irish rappers. House of Pain, Jump Around. Put on your sheet keekers and keek some sheet. But this was a 1974 bootleg that was from the Queen 2 tour. And that was sitting next to the Queers. So, never know what you're going to find on your shelves. It's crazy. Let's see. A band I saw live. Oh my god, I've seen a million bands live. I decided to just show this. Blind Melon. I saw Shannon Hoon. I saw them play at Woodstock 94, I think it was. I was at 94 and 99, so they kind of blend together. And then I was like, oh man, I should just show like people that are dead that I saw live. So I pulled like, I don't know where it is now, but I pulled like a Solomon Burke and a Joe Cocker and a Leon Russ. I started John Denver and pulling all these dead people. I was like, Blind Melon. I saw them live. And they were awesome. And Shannon Hoon was wearing a dress. Wish I had an OG, but I only have a reissue. I'm going with the Remains. I've never seen an original of this classic garage rock band from Boston. Never. So I'm always on the lookout. Never going to find one, but it's essential, and I needed to have that in my collection, so I do have a reissue. What I own the most of, I don't know. I have tons of Bob Dylan, I have tons of the Rolling Stones, I have tons of Van Morrison. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not a completist. I would try to be a completist for Van Morrison. So we'll say Van Morrison is my answer. A unique center label. Now this stumbled me, and I got to the point where I was just going through records just to find a cool label. I couldn't. Oh my god, I don't know. I went with Bob Schneider because I knew it had a pretty label, and it's called Bob Schneider Lovely Creatures, and I just think it has a really kind of cool, flowery label. So that's my answer for that. I'm not going to get too crazy. Pre-band. Someone who was in a band before they got famous. So I went with the Sugar Cubes and Bjork. This was Bjork's band before she went solo. And I love this. I was going to say, I think I like it better than Bjork's stuff. But I do love Post. Love Post. Post is such an amazing record. Excuse me, I got my Bloody Mary. I got ice stuck in my mouth now. I don't know if I should just swallow it or spit it out. Spit or swallow? Son of a bitch, really? Serious? Alright, I'm dirty. So, if you've never seen my channel before and you don't like dirty humor, I have dirty humor. You might want to just turn me off now. I get naughty at times. Let's see. A musical book or a musical movie? So I just I just got this really awesome book for Christmas. It's called Booze and Vinyl. It's one of my favorite things, right? So they talk about pairing liquor and beverages with records. So, like, for instance, they have the Rolling Stones' Sticky Fingers, and it's all, like, you know, classic records. So, like, everybody's going to be pretty familiar with these records, and they have a lot of cool stuff in here. But they pair, and I thought this was really weird at first, that they pair a Tequila Sunrise with Sticky Fingers. And I was like, what do you mean they're fucking Tequila Sunrise with Sticky Fingers? Tequila Sunrise should be with, like, the Eagles, you know, on the Desperado record where they played Tequila Sunrise. But they go on to tell you why, and apparently they put a Tequila Sunrise in here because in Keith Richards' autobiography, he said that legend has it a bartender in Sausalito offered lead singer Mick Jagger his first taste of the Tequila Sunrise, and it became a favorite of him. So that's why a Tequila Sunrise is being used. But, I mean, they got everything. Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, Prince, Robert Johnson, Snoop Dogg. I mean, they got tons of cool recipes, booze and vinyl. Cool records and cool recipes. So, it's a really cool book. Really glad I got that. So, number 14, show an underrated record. I think for the most part, his whole discography is pretty underrated. I love Lyle Lovett. This is Pontiac, and he's labeled as country, but he has like blues, and then he has like the big band. He's jazzy, he's bluesy, he's folky, he's country. He's all over the place. I just think that this record is phenomenal. It is easily in my top records, like, of all time. It's killer stuff. But yeah, that's probably my favorite record by him. So we're going with that one. But I think his whole discography is really underrated. 15, I can't read this. Oh, a great collection by a band. So a band that hasn't really put out any stinkers. Now, I was trying to go through, and I'm going through, and I'm like, wow, well, this band kind of has a stinker. This band kind of has a stinker. So I went with an artist rather than a band. And you're going to be like, oh, brother, really? But you guys know I love her. But Brandi Carlile, she has not put out one bad record. From her first record, where I became a huge fan, seeing her open for Jamie Cullum on that tour, she blew me away. And I've been a monster fan of hers ever since. So, I mean, everything that she's done, that she's put out, I just absolutely love. So, there's not a stinker in that collection. So, Brandi Carlile. Number 16. It's the same record with a different cover. I don't own any. Any records that I had that did have like a slight variation, I think I got rid of because I started clearing out a lot of my doubles and all that. So the only thing I really have is 2 copies of Dave Brubeck's Time Out, and as you can see, the stereo copy is a little different. It's like kind of, it was cut up here, and they just kind of, so that's it. I got nothing. That's so boring. So sorry about that. Number 17. And I can't read it because my pen stopped writing. So I only have a couple letters. An album that you bought for inexpensive that is now worth money. It's the record I'm playing. It's called the Mighty Imperials. Thunder Chicken. I paid like $5 for this a long time ago. Years and I mean we're talking probably, I don't know, a long time ago. And this is the third record that Daptone put out. The first record was Dap Dippin' by Sharon Jones, and then what was it, Sugar Man 3, and then the Mighty Imperials. This is all, they were like kids. They were in like high school. They weren't even 18 years old. And it's like a funk classic. It was originally made in like 99, but it was never like released. And then Daptone apparently got a hold of it, and then they put it out on their label, like, I don't know, like 5 years later, like 2004, I think that this was finally pressed on vinyl and put out. But it is, if you could hear some of that, it's just really killer funk, and I'm happy to have it. Like I said, I paid like $5 for it, and now it's like, you know, $50 to $80 range on like Discogs. So, number 18, my favorite drummer. I wasn't crazy about this question because I don't really have a favorite drummer. There's drummers that I'm not a big drummer fan, but I guess if I have to go with a favorite drummer, I'm going to go with Stephen Perkins from Jane's Addiction. I think that he is nasty. So we'll go with Stephen Perkins from Jane's. Juanas Addiction! Let's see. Number 19, a record that's turning 20 this year in 2020. I'm going to show two because it's two of my favorite records. It's kind of hard to believe that Heartbreaker by Ryan Adams is turning 20 this year. And that Nickel Creek's self-titled record is also turning 20. So look at like Chris, Sarah, Sean. Some great bluegrass, great folky singer-songwriter stuff. Love them. And my last, the last question is, what artist put out like a great trio of records? So I'm going with Van Morrison, Astral Weeks, Moondance, his band The Street Choir. Are you kidding? These three came out following each other, and they're three of my favorite records of all time. So, Van Morrison, Astral Weeks, Moondance, his band, and The Street Choir. And then, I guess, they wanted to do a little shout out for the VC new channels. I don't know any new channels, so I apologize. I've been out of this for a year. I hope to really start making new videos. I hope to have a comeback here and meet a bunch of people, new people in the VC. But I don't know any new channels. I can tell you I've been catching up with some of my friends out there, but there is one channel that I just subscribed to like a month ago, and I've been addicted, is Mazzy. Norman Maslow. Holy crap. I know he's got a ton of subscribers, but man, I love his videos. I had a whack-a-mole marathon yesterday, and I actually ended up sending him a message on one of his videos saying that I'm having a whack-a-mole marathon. So, does that mean I'm whacking off? I don't know. I sound dirty. So, anyway, guys, I'm glad to be back. I'm hoping to make a bunch of new videos. As you can see, I am in a new setting. I had a lot go on this past year, thus that's why I wasn't making videos. So, I don't know. It's good to be back. Subscribe if you're new, and talk to you later. Cheers.